The observable universe is 93 billion light-years wide. That is so big your brain literally cannot imagine it. But what if the entire universe was only 1 kilometer wide? Let's find out what would happen. First, let's understand the scale. 1 kilometer is the length of about 10 football fields. Now imagine everything, every galaxy, every star, every planet, squeezed into that tiny space. In our real universe, the nearest star to Earth is Proxima Centauri, 4.2 light-years away. In a 1 kilometer universe, that same star would be just 0.00004 millimeters away, thinner than a human hair. Now here's where it gets crazy. In a 1 kilometer universe, all 2 trillion galaxies would be smashed together. Every galaxy constantly colliding with every other galaxy. The universe would be pure chaos. But what about Earth? In a 1 kilometer universe, Earth itself would be smaller than a single atom. Not a small atom, literally smaller than a proton. You would not exist. Not even your atoms would fit. But let's say somehow you survived and you were standing inside this 1 kilometer universe. You could walk from one end of the entire universe to the other in about 12 minutes. Now what about light speed? Light takes 93 billion years to cross our real universe. In a 1 kilometer universe, light would cross the entire universe in 0.0000003 seconds. In one blink, light travels the universe 10 million times. Here's the wildest part. In our universe, gravity is weak. Stars are far apart. But in a 1 kilometer universe, gravity from every single object would pull on everything else at the same time. The entire universe would collapse into one giant black hole instantly. In fact, scientists believe this is exactly what happened before the Big Bang. The entire universe was squeezed into a space smaller than an atom. Infinite density, infinite heat. And then, bang. So a 1 kilometer universe would not just be small, it would be impossible for life, impossible for planets, impossible for stars. The universe needs to be exactly the right size for anything to exist at all. Our universe is 93 billion light-years wide. Scientists say it may actually be infinite in size. And yet, here we are, on a tiny rock, in a universe so big we cannot even measure it. How lucky is that? So next time you feel small, remember this. You are made of atoms forged in dying stars. You exist in a universe so perfectly sized that life itself became possible. That is not small, that is extraordinary. Stay curious.